Check, 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 check. Microphone check. 1 2 1 2. Check, check. That's on. My name is Barry, joined by Finley. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Wallace, Idaho. My name is Barry Larson. I'm joined in the Channel 3 Sports Press Box by engineer Finley Cunningham. And we're here for tonight's action between the Wallace Miners and the Jaguars of the Genesis Prep Academy. This is a district playoff game with the winner of this game moving on to continue their season, while the loser will their time will run out this evening. Starting on the floor for the Miners, Gardapi, Emmett Miles, Julian Davis, Cooper Miller, and Henry Larson. And on the floor for the Jaguars, Dylan Tosh, Emmett Swanson, Gabe Meyer. Looks like tonight it is Sawyer Bateman. And that's Griffin Early with the ball right there. Here's an early shot from the outside. That was Swanson. His three-point attempt, no good. Rebound, Gardapi, back come the Miners. There's Larson. Begins his drive. Wild pass out to near the timeline. Recovered by Miller. Shot clock at 20. Here's Gardapi, drives right side, gets it to Larson in the middle of the key. He goes up. His layup attempt, up and in. First two for the Miners. Last time these two teams met was right here on this floor about 3 weeks ago. Jaguars came away with a 1-point victory. Another shot from the outside. That's Tosh. No good, out of bounds to the Miners. Finley Cunningham pushed into duty tonight as Noah Wallace, senior high school student. Well, actually, she's a junior high school student. Had a successful basketball season this year for the middle school Miners. Here's Miller. He drives right side. Ball eventually lands in Larson's hands. His second shot of the game, no good. Davis attempts to throw it off a Jaguar. Ball ends up in the hands of the Jaguars. Here they come. Just starting this district playoff game, again, between the Genesis Prep Jaguars and the Miners of Wallace. Not a lot of change to the Wallace lineup, with the exception of sometimes mismatching some starters. Tonight it's Miles, when in the past it has been Reese Williams. Got a full complement of coaches on the bench for both teams tonight. Miners are coached by Jared Young, assisted by Chris Lund. Athletic director is Corey Miller. Principal here at the junior senior high school is Don Almquist, and our superintendent Todd Howard. Jaguars having a tough time putting any points on the board here early on, but usually that is not a problem for them. So Meyer will go to the line for his second shot. Up and in, and it's 2-1. 6.5 to play here in the first quarter. And Gardapi has it right side. Miners moving the ball around the perimeter. Looking at times to get it inside, but, really a perimeter center team. Nice back cut there by Davis. He's guarded by 3 Jaguars. Nobody cutting. Here's Miles. He'll take his shot. His first 3-point attempt, up and in. Emmett Miles is on the board with a 3. If we can get some of that shooting from Emmett tonight, things might be going pretty well for the Miners on this President's Day. Jaguars showing a little full court pressure, and a cheap foul there by 5. That's Dylan Tosh. We've been seeing these Jaguars for some time now. They have a pretty senior-laden staff, but they're attempting to get some different kind of depth here as we approach the postseason. Here's Larson, hands off to Miller. There's a high screen and a moving screen called against Larson. Right away, he'll be subbed in for by that's Reese Williams. Williams replaces Larson with his second quick foul of the game here. Swanson, right side. Nice shot by the senior. It's 5-3. Just over 5 minutes left here in the first quarter. Davis handles the pressure, gets it right side to Gardapi. Gardapi ready to shoot, lets it go. His three-point attempt, no good. Rebound, Jaguars, and back they come. Jaguars are coached by Chris Mullen, not of St. John's fame. Or maybe he might have went to St. John's, I don't know, but he's not that Chris Mullen. They're assisted by Gage Benefield, athletic director Jessica Whaley, and their principal is Melody Lund. Tie game here. Just 4.5 to remain in the first quarter. Davis guarded up top by Dylan Tosh. Jaguars bench making quite a bit of noise here early on. They have a nice section of traveling fans from the Post Falls area. And they have the ball here with 4 minutes, 20 seconds left in the first quarter. Here's Tosh. He passes it to Griffin early. Early eventually gets it back. He had a nice game versus the Miners last time. 15 early. He's a senior. And we have some type of whistle here. I don't know if we have some issues with the shot clock. It's been in use here in Idaho for a couple years. We're finally trying to iron some of the kinks out. Charged with that task is counselor here at the high school, Joe Bauer. Nicole Farkas, our official scorer, and Pat Richardson is the scorekeeper. As a quiet hushes over the gym. And we're ready for action. Game reset. Jaguars early lead 7-5 here. Larson has a bucket. Miles has a bucket. Let's see if Miller can get his drive attempt. Stuffed by the Jaguars. Out of bounds. Miners will set up an out of bounds play. Gardapi will be the inbounder. Williams, Miles on the block. At the elbows are Davis and Miller. Coach Young shouting out instructions to his guy, and there Larson got 2 quick ones, and there is a second foul on Dylan Tosh. He's been a really strong player for them. When he can hit his three-pointers, he becomes a lot more valuable, but he's a good defensive player, and his problem with fouls here are going to cause the Jaguars probably to sub in here pretty soon unless they choose to stick with him. He's trying to plead his case to the officials to no avail. Davis misses his first. He'll go to the line for his second free throw. Shot up and in. Miners trail by a point with under 4 minutes left in the first quarter. First quarter. It's been a long weekend here. Lots of snow. It's been snowing probably since Friday morning of last week. We have some falling bodies down there. Got a foul call against the Jaguars. That's their third team foul. We're pushing towards some free throws here early on. Gardapi shot, no good. Rebound, Emmett Swanson. Swanson up to 21. That's Gabe Meyer. Meyer all over the place. Gets his own rebound, kicks it back out to his teammate. Some good scrappy play by both teams out there. Jaguars retain possession. 7-6, 3 minutes, 15 seconds. This is Sawyer Bateman with the inbounds play. He gets it into Emmett Swanson. Back to Bateman. Bateman left side to Tosh. And there's Swanson again. Chooses a drive. Nice step back. Nothing doing there. And here come the Miners back the other way. Ball goes right to Davis. He's going to be guarded all the way down court by Tosh. Boy, Dylan Tosh playing with fire there. Did a good job of contesting that shot. But Julian Davis up and in for 2. 8-7 Miners. Turnovers have plagued the Jaguars in their 2 games versus the Miners. We'll see if the Miners can keep forcing those turnovers and make this a really competitive game, as these games always are, between Genesis Prep and Wallace. Miles, baseline jumper, no good. Rebound, Meyer. He gets the ball to Swanson, who gets to the Tosh. Tosh guarded up top by the Miners. Miners in a man-to-man defense at this point. Jaguars looking to see what kind of plan they'll have offensively, and there's Tosh, number 5, with a three-pointer. 10-8, Genesis Prep leads. Genesis Prep in maybe a trapping man-to-man. Miller tries to drive right down the middle against a few Jaguars. Nothing there. Rebounds Swanson. Swanson will bring the ball up court with those trademark goggles, and there's Bateman from the left side for 3. Miners need to start playing some defense. 13-8, and that's going to force Coach Jared Young to get a timeout there. So just under 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Miners trail by 5, 13-8. We'll be back. All right, welcome back on this President's Day. There's Jordan Gardaby from the corner. Miles with the rebound. His putback attempt up and in. 13-10. Miners trail early on. Emmaus Nichols into the game for the Jaguars, number 3, a good ball handling guard. Here's Griffin early in the corner. Gets it down to Gabe Meyer. He's going to be fouled. Gabe Meyer, a wonderful job getting to the hoop. When he gets the ball down there in the blocks, he has a one-track mind. He's going to the hoop, and that's it. Miners have started to become a little bit keen to that idea, but Williams draped both hands over him. Now Meyer go to the line to shoot 2. Nice student section over there. Boys from the football teams, the junior high basketball teams, the JV basketball team. Girls from the volleyball squad. Nice group of cheerleaders tonight. Good attendance for a real challenging day of basketball. I have to be the talent here, family. I can't be worried about the score. Score's 15-10 right now. Genesis Prep leads. Miners trail by 5 with under a minute to go here in the first quarter. Here's Gardapi right side. He makes his first three-pointer of the night, and the Miners are trailing by 2. 40 seconds left on the clock. Come out in a kind of an extended 1-3-1 zone pressure. Here's Nichols in the corner. He had it on the baseline, brought it back out. Here's Bateman. Bateman to Nichols. Bateman into Swanson. Here's the other Bateman. Nice drive by Sawyer. Bateman. Nichols' shot attempt, no good. Boy, that's a tough foul there called by the official. He was kind of blocked out, had a real good angle here. It looked like ball to me, but that is one heck of official. Paul Manzardo down there, a long time baseball coach at North Idaho College, as well as the Parks and Recreation Director there. Just in the past years, him and his family enjoyed success in the form of his son playing Major League Baseball for the Cleveland Indians. So nice to see Paul Manzardo, always a really great calming presence here in the gym. Miners trail by 4 here, 15 seconds left in the first quarter. Here's Davis, can't get his shot off, passes right side again to Gardapi. That looked good from here, no good. Emmett Strange is in the game for the first time. Can't get the rebound. Jaguars have a few seconds left. Three-point attempt from well beyond the half-court line. No good by Swanson. After one quarter of play, Miners trail 13-17. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. On this President's Day holiday, no school for the kids, but we are playing basketball. Here's freshman Cooper Miller with the ball, passes left side, gets it into the corner for Gardapi. Gardapi's three-point attempt, no good. There's going to be a foul called against Evan Strange on the rebound. That's going to be Strange's first foul of the game. First foul of the second quarter here. Miners having to go to their bench early. Couple quick fouls by sophomore guard Henry Larson. He's on the bench, so on the floor for the Miners, Miles Davis, Miller, Gardapi, and Evan Strange. Miners playing some man-to-man defense. Here's Bateman to Meyer. Meyer can't handle it. Looked like there might have been a reach there. He ties Miles up instead, and ball's going back to the Jaguars. Both Bateman brothers, Sawyer Bateman and Isaiah Bateman, on the floor. Sawyer, number 12, is the younger of the two. He's a sophomore. Going to have a conversation by the officials on the baseline. Out some shot clock. All right, we're again still working out the kinks with that shot clock. Requires another person at the scorer's table, another person down there with a vested interest, and they have to be paying attention. Unfortunately, we have Joe Bauer on the job tonight. Anywho, no, he's doing a great job. So what was a tie-up goes out of bounds. Shot clock back at 35. 7.5 here to play. Inbound to Meyer, no good. His put-back attempt, no good, and Julian Davis has the rebound. The Miners look to run. Davis has it. Jaguars do a great job of stopping that trip to the hoop by Davis. And here's Miles from the corner. His three-point attempt up, no good. Rebound Davis, guarded by Nichols. And Amaya Nichols, great defensive effort, but really no match for Julian Davis down low. Julian Davis, a wonderful year for the Miners. All-around wonderful athlete and great player. 17-15. Jaguars lead. There's a steal for the Miners, and back they come. Gardapi has the ball. He's going to be picked up at the three-point line by Tosh. Evan Strange from the corner there, no good. His three-point attempt, well off the mark. Jaguars have it. Tosh playing with he's only got 2 fouls here. There's Bateman to Meyer. Strange has the other Bateman on the baseline. Here's Nichols, drives unimpeded to the free throw line. And there's Gabe Meyer to clean it up. Boy, just wonderful player down low. Knows what he can do, what he can't do. Always looking to be aggressive and take the ball to the hole, and he really works hard on the offensive boards, and it's paying off. 19-15 lead for the Jaguars early on. Here's Davis again. They're looking for that matchup down low. Nichols on Davis. Miners capitalizing on a mismatch. Here's the younger Bateman up top. Meyer sets a high screen for him. Bateman drives past Gardapi. His layup attempt, no good. Rebound, Meyer. There's Gardapi on the defensive boards. Miner's going to need everybody down there to work hard with Larson out of the game. He's a great defensive rebounder for the team in white. Here's Miller, freshman, guarded by sophomore. Bateman picks his pocket, and the Jaguars coming back the other way. Boy, Dylan Tosh had a step on Gardapi, but Gardapi closed that gap and was able to force a turnover here. Swanson's going to replace Bateman. So on the floor for the Jaguars, Tosh, Swanson, Nichols, young Bateman, and Gabe Meyer. And on the floor for the Miners, here's Strange with the ball, Gardapi, Miller, Davis, and Miles. Just under 5.5 here left in the first half. Miners facing a 2-point deficit. Trying to get the ball in the corner to Evan Strange. He runs the baseline, gets it back in the corner. They're looking to get the ball into Davis. Davis not able to grab that pass, and back come the Jaguars. This is Emmett Swanson. Swanson, a 5'7" senior. He's on the floor with Meyer, the senior, Tosh, the senior, Bateman, the senior, and Emmaus Nichols is a senior as well. So all 12th graders out there for the Jaguars, and these 12th graders draw an important foul against Julian Davis. That is Julian's first foul of the game. Usually if Julian is out of foul trouble, then the Miners are going to be competitive well into the later stages. So we'll see if they can manage that situation a little bit. Tosh's three-point attempt up and no good. Rebound, Gardapi. Gardapi guarded by Swanson, drives down, turnaround from the elbow. Good-looking shot, just wasn't quite committed to it. And Swanson has the ball. He's told to slow it down a little bit by Coach Mullen. Ball's inside to Bateman. He's guarded by Strange. Evan, a wonderful young athlete here for the Miners. Starting to get some more minutes on the varsity side, and he's a sneaky defender. He's very fast and talented with the ball. A little bit inexperienced there, and that's turned into a couple turnovers, but he will figure it out. Working really hard on the defensive end here. Hustles back. Nichols drives down. Nobody steps in front of him. He's got just about a clear path to the basket. And Davis is on the run again. It's like he's doing this all himself. Nice Euro step down at the other end. Not able to convert. But there's a foul called by the baseline official. Jaguars are incredulous. Foul's called against Gabe Meyer. 21. I think that's going to be... that's Meyer's first foul. We got a timeout on the floor. 21-17, 3.5 to play in the first half. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Kirby Krulitz Court on the campus of Wallace Junior Senior High School. My name is Barry Larson. I'm joined in the booth by my engineer and producer, Finley Cunningham. Finley is a 7th grader here at Wallace Junior Senior High School. No school for the kids today as we celebrate President's Day. You know, originally President's Day was called Washington's birthday, and that's the way it was celebrated until 1879, until the 1950s, when legislature proposed that they change it to celebrate all presidents instead of just one. The name has, interesting enough, the name's never been officially changed. However, the Uniform Monday Holiday Act of 1971 moved Washington's birthday to a Monday so we could have a nice 3-day weekend. For some of us, it's been a 6-7-day weekend. Some sickness been going around here in the Silver Valley. Mullen had to cancel school at the end of the week, as did the elementary school in Osborne. So the kids have been off for a while. But these boys have been going to school. They're healthy. They're ready to go and make this push towards what could be a pretty good run into the state tournament. But they have to get by the Jaguars of Genesis Prep here this evening. Here's Tosh with the ball. On the floor for the Miners, Strange, Davis, Miles, Gardapi, and Miller. Strange getting some extended minutes. Nice interior pass by the Jaguars. That is senior Griffin Early from the baseline. He's got a nice start and stop game. Plays good defense. The Miners trail by 5 here in the first half. Davis passes a 3-point attempt. Drives, nice ball off the glass there. Boy, closing out in high school basketball is somewhat of a lost art. You rarely see a defender close out on a perimeter player without jumping and trying to block a shot, and more times than often, those guys end up just getting blown right by. Speaking of blown right by, here comes Cooper Miller. Swanson tries to draw a charge on the other end, and he gets a flop warning. Yeah, that's a dangerous play. It can lead to some injuries when guys are lying around on the ground. All right, and then referee's going to get it straight with the bench here. It's just a warning, not a foul, but feeling you can understand how when people are laying on the ground, it could be a dangerous play, right? You've got some folks not knowing where they're at, and they're going to step over them. And 2 more for the Miners there. Thank you. So Swanson takes his warning. No foul, no harm, no foul. Miller able to put the ball up and in. Miners trail by 1 with just about 2 minutes left here in the first half on a wintry day here in Wallace, Idaho. It's been a nice weekend. This is the weekend of the President's Day Ski Jor downtown celebration. The streets were lined with snow. Lots of side-by-side skiers. Some brave souls pulled behind those side-by-sides onto a course that was about 2 stories high with jumps. And it was a really nice time downtown Wallace the last few days. Tosh's shot barely hits rim. It's short. Jaguars maintain that 1-point lead. Again, Larson on the bench with 2 first-quarter fouls. Reese Williams replaces Miles. So to finish out the first half here, we have Gardapi, Strange, Miller, Miles, and Williams. Tosh's second free throw attempt, up and in. Genesis Prep with a 2-point lead, under 2 minutes. Here's Gardapi from the corner, 3-point attempt, up, no good. Rebound Meyer. Back comes Swanson. Miners playing man-to-man. Here's Tosh. He's guarded by Williams. A little bit of a mismatch for Reese there, having to stick with the speedy Tosh, but keeps him in front of him and forces a contested shot there. Miners come back. Here's Jordan Gardapi with the ball. He's guarded by Swanson. Top of the key. And what a unforced turnover right there. Gardapi travels up top, hangs his head. 1 minute, 15 seconds left here in the first half. Miners facing a 2-point deficit. Isaiah Bateman replaced by his brother Sawyer Bateman. Must be a tough pill to swallow sometimes when your brother checks in for you. I would never go for that. One minute left here, first half. Jaguars have a 2-point lead, 24-22. There's Meyer down low. His jump shot attempt, no good. Good defense by Reese Williams. And back come the Miners, see if they can't even or take the lead here at the closing minute of the first half. Miller dribbles. He passes out to Strange. Strange right side to Gardapi. He's been looking for a shot this evening. Here's Davis, guarded by 2 Jaguars. Drives right down the middle. Contested shot up, no good. Rebound Swanson, half a minute left. Nearly a foul there by Davis. He'd be well advised not to foul here at the end of the first half, so he can have his full complement of fouls, -1 in the second half. Jaguars going to play for the last shot. Shot clock is turned off. Here's Swanson. Swanson guarded by Miller closely. Bateman guarded by Strange. High screen set by Meyer. Lots of time for Davis to work his magic down at the other end. He's guarded by Tosh and Swanson, unable to convert. Nice team defense down there by the Jaguars. So, after 16 minutes of basketball, the Miners trail by 2, 24-22. We'll return here briefly. Welcome back to Wallace, Idaho, population 967 in the panhandle of North Idaho. Wallace is the county seat. And it is a beautiful place. Once again, we had the ski tour here this weekend. Great attraction. Brought lots of out-of-town folks here, and the weather really cooperated. It was a snowy weekend, and perfect for all the festivities surrounding that nice community event. In the past, these games would have been played down at North Idaho College. A little bit different setup here this year. Again, the winner moves on. The loser season is over this evening. Miners have lost twice to Genesis Prep here this season, and as Corey Miller always said, it's hard to beat a team 3 times in a year. Miners starting 5 back in the game. Larson, Gardapi, Davis, Miles, and Miller. And here comes Cooper Miller off a couple screens. Ball goes down low to Davis. Just seems to be a little bit more intensity in the play of the Jaguars this evening compared to the Miners, but we'll see if we can't find that spark that we've shown throughout the year. Miners had some stinkers this year, but also some really competitive, wonderful games. My memory takes me back to a couple weeks ago, traveling on the Palouse. Went down and played a really tough Troy Trojans team and came away with a 2-point victory, and then beat Genesee, and that was, boy, one of the highlights of the season. Lost earlier this week, Monday to Kellogg, Monday of last week to Kellogg, and then won on Valentine's Day on senior night. Celebrated senior Gabe Anderson, Julian Davis, and Jordan Gardapi, as well as Amy Strange and Tiffany Willer. And we have another shot clock violation. No, this time it's for real. Shot clock violation versus the Jaguars, and that's a turnover. Miners retain possession, 24-22. Genesis Prep playing man-to-man defense. There's Davis. He's guarded by Tosh. Quick three-pointer, no good. Nobody there to rebound. Miners just kind of watching. They're going to have to change that here if they want to get into this game. Notch that intensity up a notch or two. There's Larson, gets the reach. Bateman's three-point attempt, no good. Ball controlled again by the Jaguars. Bateman going to drive. No call against Davis. Rebound Larson. Back come the Miners. We got 2 guys running up the floor only and can't convert at the other end. Gardapi, Davis, and Miller wait beyond the timeline. Here's Swanson with the ball. Teams have changed directions. And now the Miners will go towards I-90. And the Jaguars are headed towards Avery. There's Tosh with a nice step through. Enough to give the Jaguars a 4-point lead. I'd like to say hi to those folks watching at home. I know my parents are watching from the Longview area, maybe some other family. Coach Young's parents always watch from the Tri-Cities. And welcome to anybody else here joining us for some basketball on a cold February evening in North Idaho. Genesis Prep Jaguars with the ball. Genesis Prep is a private school in the Post Falls area. They've been in existence about 12 years, and just sloppy play here from the Miners to begin the third quarter. You know, in this third quarter, this is always a really important time in any basketball team, any game. Teams come out and establish a little bit of momentum, see if they can't get things rolling the right way, and now the Miners look fairly disinterested. With the exception of Julian Davis, he's always interested. He gets the ball up to Larson. Larson goes to the hole, and he's going to be fouled shooting, and he's going to go to the line and shoot a couple free throws. Foul's called against Griffin Everett. 15 for that's Griffin Early for Genesis Prep. That's Early's first foul. Tosh has 2 fouls for the Jaguars, as does Larson and as does Emmett Miles. Larson's first shot attempt up and in. Henry's on the board with a free throw. Miners facing a 1-point deficit, 26-25, just under 5.5 to play. Henry Larson line for his second of 2 shots. Up and in. Nice job. Free throws and layups is what the old man always said. See if the Miners can do that for the remainder of this game. It's tied. First time it's been tied for some time here this evening. 26-26. 5 minutes left in the third quarter. I'd like to say hi to my wife Christina and her mother Cindy Elwood watching from Mullen. Let's make sure dinner's on the table when we get home here. Nice rebound attempt by Tosh. His putback no good. There's a mad scrap for the ball. And Miles going to pick up his third foul. I think rather than trying to go for those blocks, he might have been better served to step in front and block out Gabe Meyer, who rebounds and rebounds and rebounds until he can't rebound anymore. He'll go line for a couple shot here. That's Miles' third foul. He's going to be replaced by Reese Williams. Williams getting quite a bit of playoff experience. Reese, sophomore, out there with the freshman Cooper Miller. Sophomore Henry Larson, the two seniors for the Miners here, Gardapi and Davis. Gardapi has the ball, gets it right side to Davis. He's going to have a screen by Larson, step through. Nice shot by Julian Davis, gets his own rebound, fighting hard for the ball on the baseline. Comes away with it. Davis back up and in. Boy, we need some of the Miners to match that effort by Julian Davis. Not a lot of guys rebounding besides number 2. 28-28, 4.5 left here in the third quarter. Here's Tosh from deep on the left-hand side. The Jaguars take a 3-point lead, 31-28. There's Gardapi, no good. One person rebounding there. That's Williams. Back comes Tosh. He's guarded by Davis. Ball goes down low to Meyer. Good interior defense by Williams. Shot up from Tosh, no good. And he gets it right back himself. Long rebound, drives baseline. Layup attempt, no good. Looked like out of bounds off of Meyer. Whoever it's called, out of bounds to the Jaguars. Swanson will inbound. 31-28. I'm Barry Larson, joined in the box by engineer, producer, all-around good person, Finley Cunningham. She's a basketball player herself. I think she could have offered a little bit more defensive pressure there than some of these guys. Miners facing a 5-point deficit. Larson drives baseline, kicks it out to Gardapi. Gardapi passes up the three-pointer, loses the ball out of bounds. He's complaining to the official that he had it knocked out. Now we have officials are going to get together. I think they're going to overturn this ball. I didn't see it myself. But Miners really aren't grabbing the ball with they got to have a little bit more purpose in the way they're playing here this evening if they want to continue their season. High school basketball season is a long one, but the Miners seem to be peaking at the right time. However, tonight they got to turn up this defensive and offensive intensity. Here's Larson. He's guarded by Swanson. He gets the ball up top to Gardapi. Gardapi to Williams. Wasn't expecting it. Hits him in the face. That's just kind of a sign of what's going on here this evening. Miller from the baseline. His shot no good. Rebound early to Swanson. Swanson down the Bateman. Good defense by Miller. Here's Swanson. Interior pass to Meyer. Once again gets it. Goes right to the hoop. He's always going right to the hoop. Good defense by Williams. Still a 5-point difference here in the game. 33-28. 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Larson goes for the high screen. Gardapi's going to have to start shooting well if we're going to do it. There's one guy rebounding again. That's not any type of key to success there. So a couple things the Miners are going to have to do here is, for one, make some shots. 2, and get some offensive and defensive rebounds. And 3, stop Gabe Meyer from getting to the hoop. Here's Bateman. His three-point attempt up and in. Miners just going under screens, giving those guys wide open looks at the basket. Right now, not really deserving the win this game. Here's Davis. He's guarded by 3 Jaguars. Gets it to Larson. Nice baseline drive. Air ball's a shot attempt. And Williams is fouled. The basket's going to count. Was a little generous, but we'll take it here. Sometimes you need a break every once in a while. Continuation given to Reese Williams. Bucket's good. He's going to shoot 1 foul. That's the first foul called against Emmett Swanson. I don't know if he was anywhere in the vicinity. Here's Williams. Free throw attempt, no good. Here come the Jaguars. Larson, Williams, Davis, Miller, and Gardapi on the floor for the Miners. There we go. There's a little bit of defensive pressure. Bateman calling for the ball. Swanson had it. He's guarded by Miller. There's a screen. Nice pick and roll by Swanson and Gabe Meyer. Really nice work by the Jaguars. Under 2 minutes left here in the third quarter. Jaguars lead. Their biggest lead so far, 8 points as of right now. Davis refuses to screen. He's met at the baseline by Meyer. Looks like there may have been a foul. Williams, rebound attempt up, no good. He's going to be fouled and go back to the line. Reese Williams getting a chance to shoot some free throws here. Nice intensity on the offensive boards. Williams goes back to the line. He's 0 for 1 from the line right now. That foul was attributed to 15 Griffin Early. That's his second foul. Picked both of them up in about the last 10 seconds. Here's Williams' first shot. No good. And we got a timeout on the floor. 1 minute, 41 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Miners face an 8-point deficit. And back to the action. We are in a winter storm warning here in the Panhandle till 4 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. Again, it's been snowing nearly all weekend, and it's nice for a change. We've had a long, cold, dreary type of winter, but the snow kind of really makes you appreciate living up here in the Silver Valley. Williams will go to the line for his second shot. Up, no good. Gets his own rebound, thank goodness. And there's the ball to Larson. Larson left side to Gardapi. Not scared to put it up and in. Three-pointer for Jordan Gardapi. Gardapi's got 8 on the evening so far. Here's Larson guarding Bateman right side. Stop and start by Bateman. Nice baseline jumper. Good-looking player. Here's Davis. Easily breaks the press. Gardapi again in the corner. No good, but Larson's there to rebound. Up and in for 2. Good awareness there, Henry Larson. Miners coming out, showing a little full court pressure, and this is where they've had the opportunity to do some good things. Ooh, Larson a little bit late getting back. Nice conversion by Bateman. And we are under a minute left here in the third quarter. Miners 8-point deficit, trading baskets with the Jaguars. Larson to Gardapi on the floor for the last minute of the third quarter. Gardapi, Williams, Davis, Larson, and Miller. Gardapi, nice baseline drive for 2. 5-point lead again. Oh, that looks like an offensive charge. Nice call by the baseline official, Par Manzardo. It goes against young Sawyer Bateman. I think that's 2 or 3 for Bateman. He's going to stay in the game here. Just about a half a minute. See if the Miners can't cut this lead from 5 to 2 or 3. Gardapi with the ball up top. Coach Young imploring his team to get out there and play some defense. Nice, Williams, nice challenge down low. He's upset. He did all that he could. He's given Manzardo an earful. He draws a foul, and that's going to send Meyer to the line. Williams with some really good minutes here while the Miners have been in a little bit of foul trouble. Both Larson and Miles have 2. I believe that's Reese's second foul as well, but all bets are off here in the fourth quarter. Gabe Myers going to the line. He's had a nice game so far this evening. Looks like he's got 13 points on the evening so far, Meyer. Officials making sure that they do, in fact, have a shooting foul. Myers' first shot up and in. It's one of the differences between the teams this evening and throughout the season. Jaguars really do make a lot of their free throws, and the Miners are fairly inconsistent. Here's Meyer, his second shot. I was hoping for the announcer jinx right there, but it didn't come here. 15 seconds left, third quarter. Miners There's Larson, drives, guarded by Swanson, no good. No foul call. Back come the, ooh, that could have been a foul called against Julian Davis. So the Miners have their work cut out for them. They're facing a 9-point deficit here going into the fourth quarter. We'll see if they can't pull out a little Miner magic. We'll be back in a sec. You know, President's Day is not celebrated the same way throughout the country. Delaware doesn't celebrate President's Day per se. They give their state workers a couple floating holidays to use as they please. And in both Indiana and Georgia, state workers are given the day after Christmas off in honor of George Washington or whichever president you might want to celebrate. Beginning of the fourth quarter, Miners facing a considerable deficit, but they have been known to do some pretty special things when they work together as a team. And here's Miller with the ball. He's guarded by Bateman. Coop's going to keep going and going until someone stops him, gives it to Miles on the baseline. His shot a little bit short. Back come the Jaguars. Bateman, Swanson, Bateman, Meyer, and Emmaus Nichols on the floor for the visitors. Miles, Larson, Davis, Gardapi, and Miller on the floor for the Miners. There's Meyer just going until he gets it done. Gabe Meyer up and in. Meyer's got 17 on the night. Here's Gardapi. He's picked up by Swanson at the top. Miles with his foot on the line from the corner. His shot attempt up, no good. Jaguars handle a little bit of full court pressure. Miners come out playing some man-to-man defense. Here's Swanson. He's guarded by Miller, Nichols by Miles, and Larson's on Bateman. Gardapi on the other Bateman. Bateman and Nichols at the top, inside to Myers. That's usually a recipe for success. Fairly good closeout. Yeah, that's a foul for sure on Gardapi. Just probably fouled him 2 or 3 times on the way. That's going to be his first foul. That's the first team foul of the quarter. We might need those fouls later on in the game if it turns into a free throw shooting contest. It was in this game last year that my son Henry Larson suffered a torn ACL, and throughout the remainder of the winter and the fall, he battled back and wasn't able to play football, but it's been great to see him on the floor here. This basketball season, he's at full strength and doing real well, so there is hope for those kids who suffer pretty serious injuries in high school. We have a couple more around here. Megan Hull's gone through the same thing, as is Ty Giordano. Best of health to those guys coming back and rehabbing. Davis going to go to the hoop. He's the only one rebounding. Miles takes a step in but tries to go through his defender rather than block out and get position there. Miners down 11, 6.5 here in the fourth quarter. Miles is going to be replaced by Strange. He comes and takes a seat on the bench in between Boone McGilvery and Blake Rose. Miners have 9 here, ready to play this evening. Here's Nichols. Nichols limited minutes this evening, but he has a nice handle and does a good job getting to the hoop. Just as I speak, he cuts baseline. Here's Bateman. Bateman guarded by Larson. Good contest by Larson. Out of bounds. Just about saved by Gardapi. And back come the Miners. Larson's ahead. Davis guarded by Bateman. Miners need to get some offensive cutters and start making some stuff happen here. Miller's drive. Stumped by the Jaguars. Nickel running the floor. He stepped out of bounds at the far end. It's going to be Miners' ball. Tosh is going to check in for the Jaguars, as is number 15, Griffin Early. They replace Sawyer Bateman and Emmett Swanson. Coming out and showing some full court pressure. Man-to-man pressure. Miners would be just clear out and get out of there. Gardapi dribbles past the pressure, gets it to nobody. Dribbling. There's a turnover by Strange. Bateman in the right place at the right time. Back come the Jaguars. Miners down 11. 5.5 to play here in the fourth quarter. What could be their final basketball game of the season? It's been a good one for the Miners. They're above 500. Signs of life. But what could very well be the last game for Julian Davis and Jordan Gardapi. Here come the Miners. Davis, he's not going to go down without a fight. Drives against a couple Jaguars. Larson working hard for the rebound underneath. Comes out to the Jaguars. Nichols has it. Larson's going to go down, almost fouled there. Looks like the Miners are getting tired, and Gardapi goes down. We have an injury on the baseline. Miles back into the game. He replaces Gardapi. Gardapi with 10 points on the night. He's got a foul. Nice job breaking the pressure by the Miners. Miller guarded closely by Tosh. Passes up. Baseline pass to Larson. Takes it himself. Nothing there. Got a tie up by Larson, and the ball goes out of bounds to the Miners. We could really use a three-pointer, something exciting to happen here. Coach Young recognizes that. He's going to take a timeout and see if he can't draw up a little magic for the Miners. 4.5 left here in the fourth quarter. Miners facing a 13-point deficit. That's all right, game reset. Here from Wallace, Idaho. The visiting Jaguars of Genesis Prep have a 13-point lead, 50-37. 4.5 here to play in the final penultimate quarter. On the floor for the Miners, Larson, Miller, Davis, Miles, and Strange. Larson to Davis. Gets it right back, drives. He's stuffed by Gabe Meyer. Julian Davis with the rebound, up and in. Great work by Davis. Once again, he's not going to go down without a fight. He's got 14 on the night. Miners down 11. Strange, Miller playing some full court pressure. Here's Strange guarding Emmaus Nichols. The ball goes out to Early. There's Strange with the rebound. We got to string together some buckets here and some stops if we're going to get into this game. Here's Miles. Miles drives right towards the middle. Bank off the glass, no good. Miners not with a real high shooting percentage this evening. Had a chance to go watch the Gonzaga Bulldogs the other night play Pepperdine, and boy, they really shot the lights out. It was an impressive victory. I think 110 to 57, something to that nature. Wonderful atmosphere there at Macaulay Athletic Center. It was a snowy night. In fact, when we showed up, the Gonzaga baseball team was out there playing baseball on the shoveled turf field. It was a strange look, but a really enjoyable night. Those tickets were given to us by Dr. Dick Vester here in town. Henry had put up some Christmas lights, so and he gave them to us. My son and I, Ollie and I went, and we had a great time. So thanks again to Dr. Vester. Always a great supporter of the community here in Wallace. We have a lot of those types of lifelong supporters, and we have beautiful facilities and wonderful kids and wonderful teachers. It's a great place to be. Cooper Miller giving some thanks there by getting a quick 2. Miners down 9. Let's see if they can't work a little magic. Bateman hands off to Tosh in the backcourt. Miners applying full court pressure. This is Tosh. He's got the ball right side. Get to the Swanson. Swanson in the Meyer. Tosh been shooting well as of this evening. Swanson has yet to find his touch, so Miners backing off a little bit. Here's a high screen. Swanson drives, looks to get it to Meyer. Davis there defensively. Nice rebound. Henry Larson coming back the other way. Seems like we have 1 or 2 guys that are game to run in transition, but the rest of the Miners just satisfied to jog back to the other end of the court. Davis guarded closely by Swanson. Gets it left side to Larson. Handoff to Miller. Miller guarded by Tosh. 2.5 to play. Fourth quarter. Miller picks up his dribble. Gets it to Larson. Larson guarded by Swanson. It was Swanson last year. Actually, the play that Henry tore his ACL and challenging on a layup. Here's Davis from deep out there. And good call by the baseline official on the block-out foul on Evan Strange. Miners really going to have to dig down deep here with 2:13 left to play. Facing a 9-point deficit. They do have 3 team fouls, so they'll be in a position to get the Jaguars shooting free throws should it come to that. And it's going to start coming to that here pretty soon. Here's Tosh from the corner. That does not need to go in. Great shot by Dylan Tosh. Just a sense of a lot more intensity and a want to win here. You can sense it from the way the bench is reacting down there for Genesis Prep, and they're living and dying with every bucket, and Miners a little bit quiet tonight. Tosh, in fact, looking over at his bench, telling him to get up and get excited. Julian Davis to the line to cut the lead to 10 here for the Miners. Just under 2 minutes to play. Davis with 14 on the night. Needed that one right there. Julian's second shot up and just rims out, but Strange is there to almost grab it. Davis fighting on the baseline, may have been pushed. Ball out of bounds. Swanson must have been on the line as he was diving for it. And these Genesis Prep kids, they are such nice kids too. Anytime someone falls on the floor, they're there to try to help them up. They're great competitors and really get after it, as are our boys. Maybe sometimes it's just not your night. Again, want to thank Finley Cunningham for joining me up here in the booth on short notice. She is getting paid, she says. Davis' shot no good. Rebound Larson. Larson to Gardapi. His three-point attempt no good. There's Davis fighting for the rebound again, and it's out of bounds off Julian Davis. Jaguars ball. 1 minute, 34 seconds. Miners are going to have to try to get a turnover here and then a foul. Coach Young shouting instructions. Ball's inbounded. Swanson to Tosh. Facing not very much pressure. 1.5 minutes left here in the fourth quarter on this snowy President's Day, 2025. Again, this is a district playoff game. Winner continues, goes on to play Lakeside either Tuesday or Wednesday. And the loser season will end here. 1 minute left. Swanson, nice drive, gets it to Meyer. Looked like he may have traveled. His drive attempt no good. Miners still alive. 1 minute. Down 8. Davis takes it, drives against Nichols, up and in. 10-point lead here. Larson, good defensive pressure. They needed a foul there. That's fine. That's Larson's fourth foul, team fourth. Jaguars will be shooting free throws from here on out. Remember, it's a 2-shot penalty when you get to 5 team fouls in high school basketball this year. Still, college basketball is 7 and 10 traditionally But yeah, they've kind of gone to what the women do, resetting it every quarter here, so it doesn't turn into a quarter-long foul shooting. Here's Larson pressuring Swanson up by the timeline. Miller there to double team. We got Swanson, Tosh, Gardapi, Nichols, everybody up there, and Gardapi's going to get the foul, but that's not a terrible thing here. Emmaus Nichols will go to the line to shoot a couple free throws. Thanks for joining us all year, both the Lady Miners games as well as the boys. It's fun to sit up here and call the game from this perspective. It's been fun sitting with our normal cast of producers and engineers, Caleb Morris, Gage Wood, Jeslyn Johnson usually up here joining us, but tonight it's just Finley and I. We're happy to bring the game to you from Wallace Junior Senior High School. Unfortunately, it's not going to look like things are going to end the way we want them to. Davis is going to go down fighting. Larson sticks his hand in there. He's going to be disqualified, and Nichols is going to go to the floor. I'm sorry, that's going to be Larson's. Davis's foul. They attribute that to Davis. That's his second foul. Nice night for Julian, as always. Boy, Julian, wonderful student and a wonderful athlete as well. All district in both football and basketball, team leader. Does a lot around the school here for everybody. He's a kind and soft guy, but boy, he is quite a competitor. Nichols knocks him down, 57-43. Time's running out here for the Miners. Here's Miles, gets it back to Davis. Davis shot attempt, knocked out of his hands by Bateman. Bateman coming the other way, a tough little player right there. Davis reaches. Larson fouls on the baseline. A long basketball season. The Miners kind of lacking a few key aspects, not much interior play, but have really turned the corner and had some really exciting games. I don't think this is indicative of the way they've played. They ran into a real tough Genesis Prep team here this evening. So congratulations to the Miners on a wonderful basketball season. Anytime you're part of a team, it's a commitment. You can't go skiing as much as you want. You can't hang with your friends as much as you want. You have early morning practices, afternoon practices. But thanks to all these student athletes for coming out and competing as hard as they do and representing the Miners in a really class way. Well, 5 and 5/10 seconds here. We just like to, once again, thanks for all your support throughout the year. Thank you so much to Coach Young and Coach Lung and Athletic Director Corey Miller and Principal Don Almquist. They're part of the good things that go on here. So the Miner season ends with a 57-43 loss to the Genesis Prep Jaguars. And that'll do her here from Kirby Krulitz Court. I'd like to thank Finley Cunningham once again. All you out there in the audience, go Miners.